Hey guys, welcome back to the Best Gaming channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 horror games for mobile. Horror games are games that are designed to scare the player. They often feature suspenseful gameplay, jump scares, and disturbing imagery. We've put together this list based on a variety of factors, including popularity, ratings, and gameplay features. We've also included a few games that are not as well known but are still worth checking out. So whether you're a fan of horror games or you're just looking for a good scare, this video is a great place to start. Bendy and the Ink Machine is a horror video game developed and published by Joey Drew Studios. It was released in 5 chapters between February 10, 2017 and October 27, 2017. The game is set in the 1930s and follows Henry, a former animator, who returns to Joey Drew Studios, the original workplace where he used to work, after receiving a mysterious invitation. Henry discovers that the studio has been abandoned and taken over by ink creatures, including Bendy, a cartoon character he created. The game is played from a first-person perspective and features a point-and-click interface. Players must explore the studio and solve puzzles to progress through the game. The game also includes various horrifying situations and frightening imagery. Here are some aspects that contribute to making Bendy and the Ink Machine a great horror game. The game's atmosphere is incredibly eerie and unsettling. The old studio, now deserted, is filled with darkness and hidden secrets, and the ink creatures are truly nightmares. The game's narrative is well crafted and captivating. The game's puzzles are challenging yet fair, encouraging players to think critically and explore, thereby building tension. Well-placed and effective jump scares in the game provide sudden shocks. Overall, Bendy and the Ink Machine is a well-executed horror game that is certain to satisfy even the most discerning horror enthusiasts. The game might not be suitable for children under the age of 12 due to its realistic violence and disturbing imagery. Five Nights at Freddy's FNAF is an indie survival horror video game developed and published by Scott Cawthon. The game was initially released on August 8, 2014 for Microsoft Windows and later made available on Android, iOS, and other platforms. The game is set in a fictional pizza restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where players assume the role of Mike Schmidt, a night security guard. Players must survive 5 nights at the restaurant by monitoring security cameras and utilizing limited resources to fend off the animatronic characters that become menacing at night. What makes FNAF stand out as a compelling horror game, the unsettling atmosphere within the abandoned pizza restaurant, and the terrifying animatronic characters. Simple yet effective gameplay involving camera surveillance and resource management, creating tension as players strive to survive each night. Strategically placed and impactful jump scares. Engaging story with a satisfying yet haunting ending. In conclusion, FNAF is a remarkable horror game that appeals to even the most discerning horror enthusiasts. It's important to note that the game is not suitable for children under 12 due to its graphic violence and disturbing imagery. Hello Neighbor is a stealth horror game developed by Dynamic Pixels and published by Tiny Build. It was released on December 8, 2017 for Windows and later ported to other platforms. The game is set in a suburban neighborhood following a young boy who suspects his neighbor is hiding a dark secret. Players must sneak into the neighbor's house, avoiding traps, to uncover the truth. The house and the neighbor are both shrouded in mystery and tension. The gameplay is challenging and suspenseful, requiring players to carefully plan their actions to avoid the neighbor and his traps. The game's story is also intriguing and mysterious. Players are left with suspicions about what the neighbor is hiding, and the game's ending is both satisfying and haunting. Overall, Hello Neighbor is a well-crafted stealth horror game that keeps players engaged as they uncover the truth and experience the tension. The game is not suitable for children under 12 due to its disturbing imagery and violence. According to the Parents Guide on the App Store, Hello Neighbor is rated 12 for violence, horror, and blood. The guide also mentions that the game contains scenes of violence and gore that may be disturbing to some players. Exorcist Fear of Phasmophobia is a mod for the game Phasmophobia that introduces a new type of ghost based on the demon Pazuzu from the Exorcist movie. The Pazuzu ghost is more powerful than other ghosts in the game and has the ability to possess players, causing them to experience hallucinations and attack other players. This mod also brings in new features to the game, such as the Ouija board that players can use to communicate with the Pazuzu ghost, and a new type of evidence called exorcism that can be collected to banish the ghost. Here are some of the key features of the Exorcist Fear of Phasmophobia mod, a new ghost type inspired by Pazuzu from the Exorcist. The Pazuzu ghost can possess players, leading them to have hallucinations and attack other players. A new feature called the Ouija board, which players can use to communicate with the Pazuzu ghost. A new type of evidence called exorcism that can be collected to banish the ghost. If you're seeking a challenging and genuinely scary horror experience, then the Exorcist Fear of Phasmophobia mod is an excellent choice. However, it's important to note that this mod may not be suitable for players who are sensitive to religious or supernatural themes. Slender the Arrival is a survival horror video game developed and published by Blue Owl Studios. It was released in March 2013 for Microsoft Windows, OS X, and Linux. The game is a sequel to the 2012 game Slender the Eight Pages and is based on the Slender Man mythos. The game is set in a fictional town called Forest Hills and follows the story of Lauren, who is investigating the disappearance of her friend Kate. Lauren must explore the town and collect 8 pages of a mysterious manuscript while avoiding Slender Man, a tall, thin creature with no face. The gameplay is in the first-person perspective and includes exploration, puzzle solving, and stealth. Players need to use their flashlight to navigate the dark and abandoned town and avoid Slender Man. The game will end if Slender Man catches the player. Slender the Arrival has been praised for its atmosphere, gameplay, and story. However, it has also been criticized for its lack of originality and brevity. If you're seeking a challenging and spooky horror experience, Slender the Arrival is a good choice. However, it's not suitable for children under 12 due to its frightening imagery and violence. According to the Parents Guide on the App Store, Slender the Arrival is rated 12 for violence, horror, and blood. The guide specifies that the game contains scenes of violence and gore that may be disturbing to some players. If you're concerned about Slender the Arrival's content, play the game at your discretion. Limbo is a puzzle platformer video game developed and published by Playdead. Released in July 2010 for Xbox Live Arcade, it later arrived on other platforms like PlayStation 3, Linux, and Windows. Set in a dark and enigmatic world, Limbo follows a young boy's journey to find his sister through exploration and puzzle solving. Played in 2D side-scrolling with minimalist art. Limbo is praised for its eerie atmosphere, challenging gameplay, and captivating story. It has spawned a sequel called Inside. Features making Limbo a great puzzle platformer, creepy atmosphere in a dark, hazardous world complemented by minimalist art. Challenging and rewarding puzzles. Intriguing and mysterious storyline with a disturbing yet satisfying ending. Despite its merits, Limbo's intense imagery and difficulty make it unsuitable for children under 12. Parents Guide on the App Store rates Limbo 12 for violence, horror, and blood, citing scenes of violence and gore that may disturb some players. If concerned about Limbo's content, exercise discretion. Ice Horror and Coop Multiplayer is a first-person horror game developed and published by Fearless Games. The game's atmosphere is very eerie and unsettling. The dark and abandoned mansion is full of hidden dangers, and the mysterious creature is genuinely terrifying. The gameplay in the game is challenging and tense. Players need to carefully plan their actions to escape the mansion and avoid the creature. Here are some things that make Ice Horror and Coop Multiplayer a good horror game. The multiplayer mode is a great way to experience horror with friends. The game can be played solo or in multiplayer mode with up to 4 players. The game features various gameplay elements, including exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. The game is renowned for its creepy environment and sudden jump scares. Overall, Ice Horror and Coop Multiplayer is a well-crafted horror game that is sure to give even the most discerning horror enthusiast a sense of fear. If you're seeking a quality horror experience, then this is the game for you. However, the game may not be suitable for children under 12 due to its violent and disturbing imagery. DISTRANT Pocket Pixel Horror is a 2D psychological horror adventure game developed and published by Winterville Studios. It was released in 2015 for iOS and Android. The game's atmosphere is very eerie and unsettling. The dark and abandoned house is full of hidden dangers, and the pixel art style contributes to the unsettling ambience. The game's storyline is intense and thought-provoking. Players become engrossed in curiosity about the woman's dark past. The gameplay is suspenseful and challenging. Players must explore the house and avoid the apparitions of the woman. Overall, DISTRANT Pocket Pixel Horror is a well-crafted horror game that is bound to captivate fans of the genre. If you're seeking a chilling and unsettling experience, then this is the game for you. However, the game may not be suitable for children under 12 due to mature themes and disturbing imagery. According to the Parent's Guide on the App Store, DISTRAINT Pocket Pixel Horror is rated 12 for horror and violence. The guide also mentions that the game contains scenes of violence and gore that may be disturbing to some players. If you have concerns about the content of DISTRAINT Pocket Pixel Horror, it's advisable to exercise discretion when playing. Dead Effect 2 is a first-person shooter game developed by Badfly Interactive and published by Head of Games. The game takes place on the ESS Meridian, a space station invaded by zombies. Players assume the role of a security officer who must fight their way through the station to find an escape route. The game includes various weapons and equipment, as well as different types of enemies to confront. Additionally, it features a multiplayer mode where players can cooperate to combat the zombies. Here are some aspects that contribute to Dead Effect 2 being a compelling game: impressive graphics, particularly for a mobile game. Fast-paced and action-packed gameplay. Engaging and suspenseful storyline. Entertaining multiplayer mode. Overall, Dead Effect 2 is a well-crafted first-person shooter that undoubtedly appeals to fans of the genre. However, it may not be suitable for children under 12 due to its violent and gory content. According to the Parent's Guide on the App Store, Dead Effect 2 is rated 16 for blood and gore, intense violence, partial nudity, strong language. If you have concerns about Dead Effect 2's content, it's best to approach it cautiously. Alien Isolation is a first-person survival horror shooter developed by Creative Assembly and published by Sega. The game takes place 15 years after the events of the 1979 film Alien and follows Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen Ripley, as she seeks to uncover the truth behind her mother's disappearance. Players must navigate the Sevastopol space station and evade the pursuing alien creature. Key highlights of the game include an atmosphere of dread and unease pervades the dark and abandoned Sevastopol space station. Gameplay is challenging and tense, requiring strategic planning to avoid the relentless alien and survive. The captivating and immersive storyline leaves players questioning what happened to Ellen Ripley. Alien Isolation is a well-crafted survival horror game that is sure to appeal to fans of the genre. However, the game may not be suitable for children under the age of 12 due to its depiction of violence and gore. According to the Parent's Guide on the App Store, Alien Isolation is rated 17. If you have concerns about the content of Alien Isolation, it's recommended to approach the game with caution. That's it for our video on the top 10 horror games for mobile. We hope you enjoyed learning about these great games, and we encourage you to check them out for yourself. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.